What's going on, everybody? This is your W.O.F. Outlook and discussion for Wednesday, July 26, 2023. And before we get into today's video, I hope everyone is doing well, remaining positive, and as always, staying blessed. All right, you guys, taking a look at the tropical Atlantic this morning. Yesterday afternoon, we had a fairly busy looking map here as far as the potential for tropical development with a surface trough here across the southwestern Atlantic and invest 95L, which every one of these systems have a low chance of development. But now the National Hurricane Center does not have the surface trough here across the southwestern Atlantic highlighted for development anymore, but we will continue to watch this as it continues to move on towards the west, towards the southeast U.S. coastline. So if you guys haven't done so already, please consider subscribing here at your Weather on the Fly so you and the YouTube Nation can stay up to date and weather aware. As the National Hurricane Center and Storm Prediction Center comes out with their updates, I have them posted here in nice and graphical animational form so everyone can stay up to date and weather aware. Now, continuing here across the tropics, as I was saying here, you guys, with this surface trough, all of this weather is just going to continue to move on towards the west throughout the remainder of the week and should start to impact parts of the southeast coastline here from the Florida Peninsula on up towards Georgia and South Carolina. And this mess should eventually continue moving on west into the Gulf of Mexico, but we will continue to monitor that just to make sure. As we continue to look at Invest 95L as it makes its way across the Caribbean, you can see here, you guys, there is plenty of shear across the Caribbean with an upper level low south of Cuba here spinning. Excuse me, you guys. And that is inducing southwest shear all on top of Invest 95L, well, which was Invest 95L, you guys. This is just a tropical wave that's going to continue to track westward and probably give Central America, Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize some weather as it continues to move on towards the west. We look here across the tropical Atlantic, it's still not, conditions are still not all that favorable for development, you guys. We still have some dry air across parts of the central Atlantic and eastern and tropical Atlantic. So that's why these systems are struggling here, you guys. Even though they are very healthy coming off Africa with this dry air, they still have a tough time, you guys. But once August come, especially towards the middle and end of August, all bets should be off, you guys. It should be all go there. But the National Hurricane Center is watching this big tropical wave that's coming off of Africa, which does have a 30% chance of development here within the next 7 days, just about around northeast of the Lesser Antilles, you guys. But yet again, only our beloved GFS is really developing this system, which is why, as of right now, chances are very low for development until other models actually get on board, you guys. So, as I said before, consider subscribing here so you can stay up to date and weather aware. As Mother Nature changes her mind, I will be right here to keep you all updated on what she has to say, you guys. Now, we take a look here across the Eastern Pacific. We do have an area that's going to be possibly have low pressure developing here south of the southwestern Mexican coast here, you guys. So we will definitely be on the lookout for this as the Eastern Pacific has been trying, you guys, but it's been having a very tough time producing storms. The Gulf of Mexico is very quiet. Look at this dry air that covers the northwest Gulf into the north central Gulf of Mexico. So no development is expected in the Gulf no time soon, you guys. Now we taking on to the lower 48 where it's just been hot, you guys. I'm gonna go on ahead and get my paintbrush going. And as you can see here, you guys, we have the dominant ridge here, still dominant high pressure, and this high pressure is basically going to continue to expand towards the east as we continue on throughout the week, you guys. And that's just going to have the heat. I mean, the heat is going to be baking, you guys. It's going to be baking. And then we have our trough basically that comes along this northern fringe here, you guys. And this is where our severe weather, where we have an enhanced risk of severe weather today, you guys, up across parts of Michigan and the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes area with this upper disturbance that is coming across. And as you guys could already see, right in that enhanced risk on the western edge of it, we already have a severe thunderstorm watch that has just been issued, you guys. So we're going to go ahead Let me clear this paintbrush off first so we can get into the convective outlook. All right, take these surface plots off. All right, you guys, first let me pause it. All right, I'll take these temperatures off, you guys, because we already know it is hot outside. All right, you guys, and as we take a look here, you can see a general thunderstorm risk here across parts of the southern United States. But here we go. This is where the main event is going to be at, and is already starting here. An enhanced risk does include Detroit, Michigan, Fort Wayne, Toledo, South Bend. All these areas are under an enhanced risk. And as I said, we just have a severe thunderstorm watch issued, which I will have that posted for you guys in nice and graphical animational form once I finish with this video. But I want to show you guys the severe thunderstorm watch. If it comes up for me. There we go, you guys. Here we go. The severe thunderstorm watch, which does include most of western into central Michigan here, you guys, and extreme northern Indiana is under that severe thunderstorm watch. We do have a slight risk that does include Chicago on down to just to the north of Indianapolis, Columbus, on over towards Cleveland, Ohio. It is under that slight risk. That marginal risk encompasses the outer edge of that. And we also have a chance of severe weather here up across parts of the plains, the central to northern plains here, you guys. Look here, extreme eastern Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska. That slight risk is there. Denver, you're just to the west of this marginal risk that does extend all the way up to the U.S.-Canadian border. Now let's check to see what these storms are going to be up to for today. And as you can see, we have a 5% chance of the tornado threat here, which does include the Detroit area. So we could have a few spin-ups of tornadoes here, you guys, but definitely be on the lookout. Chicago, you in that 2% chance, along with Columbus and Cleveland. We'll definitely have to be on the lookout. Other than that, no other areas are expecting spin up of tornadoes, but we'll definitely be on the lookout here across parts of eastern Colorado, just in case an isolated one decides to say, hello, I'm here. You always have to stay up to date and weather aware, you guys. With the hail probability, 15% chance of that hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter here across parts of eastern Colorado, Nebraska, and extreme northwest Kansas. A 15% chance of that hail up across from Chicago to Detroit, Cleveland. All you guys will have to definitely be on the lookout for that large hail. We go to the wind probability. We have a 30% chance of those winds pushing 50 to 60, gusting to 70, and maybe even as high as 80 miles per hour here in and around the Detroit and Toledo area. Chicago has a 15% chance of those winds pushing 50 to 60, gusting as high as 70 to maybe even possibly 80 miles per hour. And also here across parts just to the east of Denver, you guys, that slight risk area does have a chance of those winds being very strong, you guys. No significant tornadoes, that's good news. No significant hail threat and no significant wind. So that's very good news, you guys. No significant, but we are going to be on the lookout for some very strong weather here as this system moves across this area here across the Great Lakes, Michigan, Ohio Valley. Now, as we take a look at the HRRR to see just what these storms are going to be up to for the next 48 hours or 2 days, however you decide to look at it, you guys. And you know, we always start here at 12 noon Central Daylight Time here at your Weather on the Fly. And as you can see, we already have the weather ongoing this morning. So by the time we get to the noon hour, it's going to still be rocking here across parts of Wisconsin on down to Chicago, even extending further down into western Illinois, starting to get into parts of northeast Missouri, have some clusters of showers and thunderstorms, and even here across Indiana, from extreme southwest Michigan all the way down through central Indiana, could have some showers starting to develop, you guys. We head on to 4 or 5 o'clock. Let's see how these storms are starting to materialize. All right, and you guys, and you can see here as we get into the late afternoon, starting to head into the evening hours, look here from just north of Chicago all the way to the Detroit area. Look at this heavy showers and thunderstorms here. All hazards will be possible, even including some possibly instances of flash flooding. We will definitely be on the lookout for. And you can see here across the southern United States and Gulf Coast as the daytime heating comes along, We will have a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms along the entire Gulf Coast from Texas to Florida. So not everyone's going to see thunderstorms, but if you do, it would be a nice cooling relief, you guys. Now, as we head on up towards the northern United States, again, where the severe weather is going to be really pumping and going, we head into the late evening, starting to go into the overnight hours. As you can see here, you guys, as we get this to go, all right. As we start to head into midnight Central Standard Time, you can see all this weather is starting to push out of the Detroit area, but starting to head on towards the Erie area, Buffalo, New York, Columbus, Ohio, Indiana, just to the north of Indianapolis. There will be some heavy showers and thunderstorms here during the overnight hours across this area of the country, so we have to definitely be on the lookout. Look here across parts of eastern Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas, as we head into the late afternoon, evening hours. That's when the increase in showers and thunderstorms is going to start here in this area, and hail and damaging winds will be the main threat. Here across parts of southern Arizona, again, across the desert southwest, we'll have a chance for showers and thunderstorms this evening and afternoon. As we head on to convective outlook day 2, which segues us into you guys Thursday. Let's see here, you guys. All right. As of right now, we do have the Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe weather for parts of the northeastern United States, getting on into parts of the New England area. This does include New York, Lancaster, Harrisburg, Baltimore, Boston, Portland, Maine. All you guys are in this slight risk. The marginal risk encompasses the outer edge of that, you guys, and that does include just about all of the rest of Maine, heading on into northern Vermont and even parts of central New York here, you guys. And we also have a big marginal risk here that's going to be across from Wyoming on down towards eastern Colorado, stretching east across Nebraska, South Dakota, south central Minnesota, you guys, just about all of Iowa into just about all of Wisconsin. We'll have that chance for severe weather tomorrow. As we check the probability, tornadoes, we have a 5% chance here for a few tornadoes to spin up in and around the Boston area. The New York area has a 2% chance, so we'll definitely be on the lookout. This is some very heavily populated areas, you guys, that will have a chance to be under the gun for some tornadoes. We head on to the hail probability. You can see 5% chance of that hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter across the severe weather regions, up across the northeast, and here up across parts of the plains, the Midwest here, you guys, the northern U.S., whichever you want to call it, you guys. And the wind probability, we do have a 15% chance of those winds pushing 50 to 60, gusting as high as 70, maybe even 80 here, up in and around the New York, Boston, Baltimore area, and a 5% chance of those winds across the plains here, you guys, pushing 50 to 60, gusting to 70. No significant tornadoes. That's good news. No significant hail or wind for tomorrow either. So we're going to continue the HRRR out. And we're going to go to about the noon hour on you guys Thursday. All right, and as you can see here, we still have some showers and thunderstorms. Mainly looks like some heavy rain here up across parts of upstate New York, Vermont, and getting on into parts of Maine here in New Hampshire, you guys. That just looked like some very heavy rain that could be producing some isolated instances of flash flooding we will definitely be on the lookout for. Look here up across parts of central Minnesota, some heavy cells starting to develop. As we head on to about 5 p.m., you guys, let's go ahead and get this going. All right, look at the increase in showers and thunderstorms here up across parts of northern Wisconsin. Isolated strong winds and hail will be possible with this cluster of thunderstorms. Look here with the daytime heating across the desert southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, heading on into parts of Idaho, Montana. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will start to increase in courage as we head into the afternoon on you guys Thursday. Yet again, along the Gulf Coast with daytime heating, we will have a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Not everyone is going to get hit, but if you do get a shower or thunderstorm, it will be a nice cooling relief from this hot heat dome that we have going on. And look here up across parts of the Northeast and New England area, you guys, with the increase in intensity of these storms. All hazards will be possible, especially here around the New York and Boston area, where we could see a few tornadoes spinning up tomorrow afternoon, possibly heading into tomorrow evening as we stop this about 11 o'clock before we head into the overnight hours. And as you can see here up across Wisconsin area, it's going to be rocking around the Green Bay area. Could have some heavy rain, gusty winds, and some isolated hail, possibly even some large hail as we head towards the overnight hours on Thursday going into Friday. And we're still going to have some showers littered up and down across the high plains, heading in towards the regular central plains here, you guys, Nebraska, Kansas, western South Dakota, eastern Montana. We'll have some showers as we head towards your late evening on Thursday. And as we go all the way to convective outlook day 3, as far as the HRRR will take us out, and you can see we will yet again across parts of the northern United States, Chicago, Iowa, southern Minnesota, Wisconsin. We'll be under a slight risk of severe weather. Even here, a little area of a marginal risk across southwestern Montana. So we will definitely be on the look. It's severe weather, you guys. Severe weather season is a season that keeps on giving. If it's not the northern United States, it's the southern United States that's getting the severe weather. Now, as we take the convective outlook off and the HRRR off, you guys, as we is going as far out as that will let us. Let's take a look at the excessive rainfall outlook. And as you can see here, we do have a little marginal risk across the extreme southern Florida peninsula around the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area. We have the marginal risk across parts of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, the Denver area. Could see some isolated instances of flash flooding. A more higher threat here up across Michigan, the Detroit area, around the Chicago area, a slight risk, with a marginal risk encompassing the outer edge of that from Minneapolis on down into Indianapolis. Columbus, you guys will be under a marginal risk for some possibly instances of flash flooding today. We head to day 2, you guys. You can see here up across parts of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado will yet again be under the gun for some flash flooding. Also up here across Minnesota and Wisconsin, northern Iowa, extreme eastern and South Dakota. And yet again, where the severe weather is going to be more prominent at tomorrow, we do have a slight risk for excessive rainfall and flash flooding here up across parts of Massachusetts, Vermont, and New Hampshire, with New York under that marginal risk yet again, as well as with Miami here, the extreme southwest extreme southern Florida peninsula here, you guys. Sorry about that. And as we go on to day 3's excessive rainfall outlook, and you can see yet again the same areas across Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, that marginal risk across the southwest Florida peninsula coast here. Marginal risk, you guys, for that excessive rainfall and that huge marginal risk here up across the Midwest, the Great Lakes here, extending into the Northeast in New England for that excessive rainfall. So, you guys, the weather just keeps on giving, and we're going to be here day by day tracking it here at your Weather on the Fly. So, if you haven't done so already, and if you're still here listening to me by now, you are very much interested at your Weather on the Fly. So, just go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date and weather aware as the Storm Prediction Center and National Hurricane Center comes out with these updates. I have them posted here right for you guys here at your Weather on the Fly. That's going to be it for this video. As I always say, everyone be safe, be careful in this severe weather and flooding, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.